Anyway, back in the car, probably hear me a bit better. I think it's going to be very cold tonight. It looks like it's going to be very chilly indeed. So I get home and get the fire on and get things organised for dinner. And I think what I'll do, I'm not at my, I'm not dressed entirely well today. I'm rather casual. But what I might do is I might go down to B&M just for a quick visit to see if there's any low vibrationals about. And I might bang into some members of the opposite sex, and if they find me attractive looking like this, then my quid's in, because if they find me attractive looking so casual, I wonder what they'll be like when I'm all tarted up and looking very smart indeed. Yes, this is a great idea. I think we'll do that today. Let's go. Picking up where I left off at Glen Turret, yes, I did head down to B&M, but I'm not going to disclose too much. But these kind of things happen so randomly for me. But I was quite overjoyed that when just as I parked up the car, I thought, "There's that girl." So I came out of the car and I says, "Where have you been hiding?" And she said, "Oh, hiya." And I says, "I haven't seen you for ages." And she says, "No, I lost my job and at Christmas time." And I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear this. It's not good news, is it?" She says, "No, and I've got a new house." And it's, oh dear. So I said to her, I said, "Yeah, I hadn't seen you around town." And anyway, I think I'm going to be honest here. She looked a little bit tired. She looked a little bit under the weather. And I have to say, because I mean, I'm not, I didn't mention this at Glen Turret. I wasn't looking my usual spiffing self either. I didn't want to go down to Doctor's GP looking a picture of health and all groomed and all the rest of it. I think, what the hell are you doing here? And so I just thought to myself, I'll just go down as I am. And anyway, so I think she probably noticed, "Well, you look like a scruffy bastard today. What's happened to you?" But she didn't. She just was. I thought she was rather lowly, and I thought perhaps she's just ever so embarrassed that I probably caught her slightly off guard, because she wasn't looking well, let me say, not her usual sparkly self. So strange how you meet someone, but I think she's probably, she said, "I'll see you around." She probably scampered off and thought, "That was very nice of him talking to me like that. He's cheered me up, really." I hope so, because she's a rather pleasant personality. I'm rather fond of her in many ways. I first encountered her last summer, and I thought, but anyway, I wasn't pushing anything with her, if you understand. Not then, and certainly not just now. But I suppose if I meet up with her again at any point, I might just say, was things all right that day? Because you seemed just a little bit below par. And but the thing is, because I'm so observant, you've got to be very careful, because some people don't like someone who picks up every single thing always, and so you've got to be very careful. But I can't help being observant. It's just my nature, and I suppose in many respects it's well. I think when I worked in hotel trade, it was you automatically gave someone the once over, because you thought, are they liable to sneak out the hotel without paying their bill? That type of things. You wanted to try and have a quick examination. It may well have stayed with me, that type of behaviour. I don't know, but I wasn't giving her a full analysis. I just thought she looked a bit slightly under the weather from the last time I saw her. That was all. And as I say, she'd probably thinking, well, don't, well, best not to mention maybe in the future. I thought, well, I probably will, because I don't like being dishonest. I like being totally open. So I probably said, well, the last time I met you, you were not looking so good, were you? What's wrong with you that day? You look so fatigued. And she said, I was very stressed, very tired and run down. But you did cheer me up, and I'm grateful. So, okay. And I was thinking about my encounter with the gentleman in Aberfeldy today. The chap was so superbly dressed. And I mentioned a couple of times today, and I thought to myself, well, that's it. I'm not going to hang about anymore. So I phoned up one of the local landowners, and I said to him, listen, I'm not aristocracy, but would you mind if I can perhaps join you on your next shoot? And he says, just remind me, who am I speaking to? I says, told him. He says, sorry? And I said, oh, it's me. And, oh, yes. Whereabouts are you in the scale? I says, well, I'm not too sure, actually. I says, I suppose I'm, well, upper working class, perhaps lower middle class. I don't quite know. Oh, as soon as you mentioned working class, no, I'm sorry. I said, no. I'm not traditionally of the working class. I'm progressive. I'm a writer and I'm an actor. Oh, okay. Well, what have you got in mind? I said, well, I want to meet some totty from the aristocracy. Okay. What about up and down? I said, well, what about her? She says, well, would you like to bring up and down along? I says, certainly not. And he says, why ever not? And I says, well, for one thing, she's become proletariat. Really? I said, yes. I noticed her flicking cigarette ash on her own sitting room floor. Oh dear. I says, yes, that's what I thought. She says, well, are you sure you don't want to bring up and down? I'm sure she would quite like to come along with maybe kit out in some superb tweed or something. I says, no, she won't do it. She's fallen by the wayside, and she won't. She certainly won't put any tweed on. No, and no, she won't. Oh, well, that's rather sad to hear that a bit up and down. I said, well, absolutely. She was. I really thought she was going to make some. Tell me, was up and down aristocracy? I says, no. Up and down was traditionally upper middle class. Yes. Oh well. Is she an actor? Well, not officially, but she acts every time I see her. That she was always portraying herself to be better than what she was, but I could see through her. Oh. And does she do that often? I said, oh yes. She's always faking things. She's always making out that this is happening and that's happening when it's not actually true. Oh dear, seems a real difficulty, isn't it? It is. It's rather hard to deal with, actually. And tell me, if you come along to the shoot, have you got any special clothes? You mean special clothes? You mean, have I got any tweeds or plus fours? Exactly. I said, well, yes. I said, a wardrobe full of the correct garments. I bought them specially. Well, why don't we arrange for a quick visit and we'll ascertain the situation. I'll bring my mum with me, and my mum's very good at telling the difference between working class and middle class, not the middle class. I said, well, that's perfectly fine. I says, I know I could never be aristocracy, and I don't really want to be aristocracy, if you get my mind, but I would like to meet somebody. I met somebody called Kitty, and I was tearfully surpassed at just the way she talked. She was absolutely divine. Kitty. Oh yes, I met her and had dinner together, and she was fabulous conversation. She really was, and she used a fork and knife. Oh well, why don't you bring Kitty then? I said, well, we didn't swap any numbers, did we? Oh dear. Well, if you can't bring up and down because she's gone proletariat, is there not somebody else you could bring along? I said, well, there was a girl who saw today, but she was looking rather fatigued. Well, we'll think of something, and what we'll do is we'll come round to visit, myself and Mama. Do you have saucers in the house? I said, oh yes. Oh good. Mother won't, she won't drink tea unless there's a saucer. I said, no, I understand. I've got china, and I've got, I've got a cake stand if that's any good. Perfect. Okay, well, Tuesday? I said, Tuesday's fine. Okay, ta-da. Ta-ta.